armory of a NATO base in Eastern Europe crackles with tension, its gray walls pulsing under flickering fluorescent lights. It's 2025, and a critical exercise looms in 5 minutes. The air hums with the distant whine of drones, their engines echoing through concrete. An MQ-9 Reaper drone worth millions sits dead on a workbench, its GPS module fried, emitting a faint, eerie buzz, a coded signal no one can crack. Male technicians scramble, tools clattering uselessly. Piece of junk, one curses, sweat beading. Zara Jackson, a 32-year-old black female UAV specialist, steps forward, her faded uniform plain, no insignia. Sergeant Blake, wiry with a smirk, scoffs. Logistics girl, stick to cleaning. The others laugh, their voices sharp. Zara ignores them, removes her wrist wrap, revealing a Kraken tattoo, a coiled octopus, ink faded but sharp, glinting under the lights. In 12 seconds, she adjusts the drone's GPS frequency with a handheld calibrator, silencing the buzz. The drone's lights blink on, a low hum filling the room. Silence grips the technicians. One whispers, "Kraken?" Another stares, jaw tight. Captain Reynolds, a stern officer with a buzz cut, freezes, his eyes narrowing at the tattoo, as if it unlocks a buried secret. Zara rewraps her wrist, grabs her canvas bag, and exits, boots echoing, the team's stunned gazes trailing her. In the mess hall, the air carries the scent of boiled potatoes and cold coffee. Zara sits alone at a corner table, her dark eyes fixed on a tray of bland stew. Whispers cut through the chatter. Token hire, diversity quota. As a black woman in logistics, she's a target. Her hand, under a glove, grips a silver ring engraved with "Steady," a memento from her father, a drone pilot killed in a covert mission. Private Lee, a cocky 19-year-old with a fresh buzz cut, leans over. "Jewelry for show, Jackson." His buddies chuckle, one mimicking a runway model. Another soldier mutters, "She doesn't belong here," his voice low but cutting. Zara's fork pauses, her eyes flicking to Lee, but she resumes eating, her silence louder than their jeers. Back in the armory, fluorescent lights buzz, casting shadows on rows of drones. Zara inspects a LiDAR sensor, her fingers recalibrating it in seconds for pinpoint accuracy. She checks her toolkit, screwdrivers, programmer, tablet, ensuring every piece is ready, her movements precise like a surgeon's. The hum of drones outside grows louder, a reminder of her father's legacy. Sergeant Blake passes by, his voice dripping envy. She's out of her depth, thinks she's special. Zara doesn't flinch, her grip on the steady ring tightening. The base sprawls under gray skies, cold wind whistling through, carrying whispers of doubt about her skills, her place, her past. She moves quietly, her plain uniform blending in, yet her steady gait draws second glances. Her tools clink softly in her bag as she adjusts a drone's antenna, her focus unbreakable. A siren pierces the air, red lights flashing across the base, their wail bouncing off concrete. In the briefing room, Captain Reynolds paces, his voice sharp. A reconnaissance drone crashed in a hostile training zone carrying sensitive border data. We can't lose it. The team, 5 soldiers including Private Harris, Private Lee, and Sergeant Blake, tenses. Reynolds scans the room, his gaze landing on Zara. "Jackson, you're on recovery. Don't screw this up." His tone screams doubt. Blake snorts, "She'll crash it worse." The others smirk, one whispering to Lee, "Why her? Just logistics." Harris, a young soldier with nervous eyes, watches Zara curiously, noting her calm precision. Zara stands, her expression blank, her hand brushing the steady ring. She nods. "Understood, sir." As she gathers her gear, tablet for signal analysis, toolkit for repair, Lee mutters, "Desk clerk in a war zone, good luck." Harris studies her as she checks her tablet's GPS app, fingers steady. The training zone looms, foggy, hilly, with simulated enemy fire. Failure could expose the base. Zara slings her bag over her shoulder, boots crunching on gravel, ready despite the doubts. She pauses, adjusting a strap, her eyes scanning the team, resolve flickering. Alone in the armory, Zara pauses, fingers tracing the steady ring. A 10-second flashback grips her. Her father pilots a drone through thick fog, his voice calm. "Be the eyes, Zara." Then Operation Blackout. Flames, screams, her team lost due to her miscalculation. The memory stings, fueling self-doubt. "I'm not him," she whispers, nearly refusing the mission. Private Lee bursts in, tossing her ring onto a workbench. "Fancy toy, Jackson." It clatters and Zara's eyes flash with anger. She retrieves it, hand trembling, jaw set. "I'm in," she says to herself, sliding the ring on. She grabs her tablet, its screen glowing with GPS data, and heads out, the Kraken tattoo hidden but pulsing under her wrap. The briefing room reeks of stale coffee, its air thick with tension, the hum of drones outside seeping through concrete walls. It's 2025, and Eastern Europe's rugged hills loom on a map, the crashed drone's signal blinking faintly on a screen, a needle in a haystack. Zara Jackson stands at the back, her dark eyes tracing jagged lines, her tablet glowing in her hands. Her team, Private Harris, Private Lee, Sergeant Blake, and 2 others, shifts restlessly, their gear clinking like chains. Captain Reynolds' voice slices through. "This date is critical. Jackson, you're leading. Don't let me down." His tone drips with doubt, as if she's already failed. Lee, a cocky rookie, snickers. "A logistics girl leading? We're doomed." Harris, quieter, watches Zara's calm fingers adjust her tablet, curiosity flickering in his nervous eyes. Sergeant Carter, a grizzled veteran with a jagged scar across his cheek, pulls Zara aside as the team files out, the room's fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. His gaze catches the edge of her Kraken tattoo peeking from her wrist strap. "Saw that in the armory," he says, voice low, gravelly. "Your dad flew drones like no one else, Zara. Saved my life in 18 with a single Reaper strike. You've got his resolute hand." He presses a faded paper into her palm, a sketch of a drone with her father's call sign Steady One, its jagged symbol sharp. He'd be proud. Zara's fingers close around the steady ring under her glove, her guilt from Operation Blackout, a mission that cost her team, easing just a fraction. She pulls the paper closer, eyes narrowing at the symbol. It's too close to the drone's tampered code from the armory. Doubt creeps in. She tucks it into her pocket, nodding, boots heavy but unwavering, and steps toward the mission. The training zone is a beast, mist so dense it muffles sound, hills jagged underfoot, cold wind biting through uniforms. Simulated enemy fire cracks in the distance, sharp pops echoing off rocks. Zara leads her team, her tablet glowing with GPS data, its light piercing the haze. The crash drone signal flickers, a dying pulse. She adjusts the frequency, narrowing the search grid. Lee's voice cuts through. "Lost already, Jackson? No field soldier, huh?" Blake trails behind, dragging his feet, his sneer audible in the crunch of gravel. Logistics girl playing hero. His hands clench, eyes darting nervously. Harris watches Zara's steady hands, then asks, voice low, "How'd you learn to read that thing?" Zara glances at him, resolute. "By watching the terrain, not the noise." She activates the drone's LiDAR system, a laser queting 3D terrain maps through the mist. "2 clicks north," she says, voice firm. Harris raises an eyebrow, impressed. The haze thickens, gunfire louder, rocks slipping underfoot. Zara's tablet pings, the drone's wreckage glints in a rocky ravine, its frame twisted. She kneels, tools clinking in her canvas bag, the cold seeping through her knees. The MQ-9 Reaper's rotor is jammed, blades bent from impact. Blake leans over, his grimace sharp. "Good luck fixing that under fire." Simulated rounds snap overhead. Lee ducks, cursing, "We're sitting ducks." Zara's hands move like they're wired to the machine, unscrewing the rotor housing with a micro-torque wrench, realigning blades in 20 seconds. The drone hums to life, its green lights pulsing through the mist. Harris whispers, "How'd she do that?" Lee's bravado falters, his eyes wide, shifting uneasily. Zara's tablet flashes a warning. The drone's data, critical border intel, is encrypted wrong, scrambled deliberately. Her eyes narrow, scanning the code on her tablet's interface, a red error blinking. Someone tampered with it. She glances at her team. Lee's nervous fidgeting, Blake's smug silence, Harris's curious gaze. Carter lingers at the back, his scarred face unreadable, the paper symbol in her pocket matching a code snippet on her screen. Doubt deepens. Could Carter be involved? She pulls the paper out, comparing it to the tablet, her fingers brushing the steady ring. Her father's words echo. "Be the eyes." Reynolds' voice crackles through her radio, impatient. "Jackson, get that data back or you're done." She seals the drone's panel, her Kraken tattoo flashing as her wrist strap slips. "Data's secure," she says, voice resolute as stone. Moving out. The team falls silent, the mist heavier, swallowing their steps. Harris lingers close, doubts fading. Blake's grimace falters, eyes darting away. Zara leads them back, the drones hum a quiet victory, but the tampered data gnaws at her. Someone's playing a dangerous game, and it's not just in the hills, it's right beside her. The Eastern European base thrums with tension, the NATO exercise roaring under a gray sky. Zara Jackson trudges back from the foggy hills, the recovered drone's data secure in her tablet, its screen casting a faint glow. Her team, Private Harris, Private Lee, Sergeant Blake, and another soldier follows, boots crunching on gravel, the cold air biting through their uniforms. The armory's fluorescent lights pulse, casting shadows on rows of MQ-9 Reapers, the air thick with the scent of oil and metal. Zara sets the drone on a workbench, her hands resolute despite the weight of eyes. Captain Reynolds storms in, his buzz cut sharp under the lights, voice cutting. "You got the data, Jackson, but don't get cocky. You're unproven." Blake, leaning against a crate, sneers, his fingers twitching nervously. "Lucky break, that's all." Zara's hand grazes the steady ring under her glove, her mind on the tampered data from the crashed drone. The jagged symbol on Sergeant Carter's paper, matching the drone's code, lingers like a shadow, whispering betrayal. A siren wails, red lights flashing across the control room, their shriek bouncing off concrete walls. The air smells of burnt circuits, screens blazing with error codes. A surveillance drone, mid-exercise, has gone rogue, broadcasting false coordinates that could lead a squad into a simulated ambush. Reynolds barks, "Fix it now." Blake steps back, arms crossed, his grimace cold. "Let's see the logistics girl try." Zara moves to a terminal, syncing her tablet with the drone's network. She launches Wireshark, its interface displaying streams of network packets, red alerts flashing rogue data. Her eyes narrow, spotting malware injecting fake GPS signals. Her fingers fly, applying a custom filter to isolate the malicious code in under 2 minutes. The screen stabilized, the squad saved, the drone's hum echoing outside. Technicians gasp, one whispering, "She's unreal." Lee shifts, eyes darting away, his bravado faltering. Reynolds' gaze hardens. "Jackson, I'm ordering a background check. If your past's fake, you're done." Zara's jaw tightens, but she nods, her Kraken tattoo hidden under her wrist wrap. She glances at Carter, quiet in the corner, his scarred face unreadable. She pulls out his paper, comparing it to the drone's code on her tablet. The symbols match, his eyes briefly avoiding hers. Doubt deepens. In the mess hall, the air's thick with suspicion, the scent of stale coffee and murmured gossip lingering. Harris slides into his seat across from Zara, his voice low. "You saved our squad, Jackson." Blake's full of it. He hesitates, pulling a worn photo from his pocket. His family, pushing him to make officer. "My folks want me to be a big shot, but I'm not cut out for it. You ever feel like you're not enough?" Zara's eyes soften, fingers grazing the steady ring. "Every day," she says quietly. "My dad taught me to see the unseen." Harris nods, respect deepening, a faint smile breaking through. Across the room, Blake fumes, his promotion denied because Zara's skills outshone his in a recent drill. Later, in a dark corner of the armory, he glances around, eyes tense, hands trembling as he tampers with another drone's firmware, uploading a file labeled Jackson to frame her. His sneer is cold. He's not just jealous, he's out for blood. Zara, alone in the armory's dim light, the hum of drones outside seeping through, checks a row of Reapers. Her tablet pings. A navigation error, the firmware deliberately scrambled. She traces the sabotage to Blake's terminal, heart pounding. Working fast, she connects a USB programmer to the drone's chip, flashing new firmware, the screen flashing green as the drone winds back to life. Her Kraken tattoo peeks out as her wrist wrap slips, a silent vow of her past. She marches to Reynolds, tablet in hand. "Check Blake's logs, not mine." Her voice is calm, eyes burning with defiance. Reynolds hesitates, scanning the logs, his face tightening as Blake's access records glare back. "We'll look into it," he mutters, shaken. The team watches, Lee turning away, muttering under his breath, Harris nodding in quiet support, his fist clenched in solidarity. Alone again, Zara slumps against a crate, the armory's lights casting a faint glow, the hum of machinery heavy. Operation Blackout crashes over her, a memory of teammates pinned in a smoky valley, her drone swarm circling above. She'd calculated the strike, but a split-second error sent flames roaring, silencing their screams. Her eyes well up, a rare crack in her armor. "I let them down," she whispers, clutching the steady ring. Footsteps echo. Carter stands in the doorway, his scarred face softened. "You're not your mistakes, Zara," he says. "Your dad knew that. So do I." He points to the ring. "Stay resolute." Zara wipes her eyes, nodding. The traitor's out there, and she's not backing down. Her tablet glows with new data, Carter's symbol a puzzle unsolved. The NATO exercise hits fever pitch on the Eastern European base, the air thick with fog and the acrid scent of burnt circuits. It's 2025, and the drone fleet, a swarm of MQ-9 Reapers linked by a satellite-controlled AI network, should be the backbone of the operation. But in the control room, screens pulse wildly, coordinates jumping like a heart in panic. Alarms wail, their shrill sound bouncing off concrete walls, red lights casting an eerie glow. The fleet's gone rogue, broadcasting the base's position to a simulated enemy. Zara Jackson stands at a terminal, her tablet glowing with data, its screen cutting through the haze. Her dark eyes narrow as she traces the hack, an internal signal not from outside. A coded message flashes, its jagged drone symbol identical to the one on Sergeant Carter's paper. Her pulse quickens. Carter, the scarred veteran who knew her father, stands nearby, hands in pockets, his face a mask. She pulls out the paper, comparing it to her tablet's code. "Carter," she says, voice low, "are you hiding something?" He meets her gaze, eyes guarded, a slight flinch betraying him. "You're barking up the wrong tree, Jackson," he says, too calm, his voice resolute but strained. Captain Reynolds paces, his voice a whip. "Fix this, Jackson, or we're exposed." Private Harris, now a quiet ally, hovers close, his eyes on Zara's tablet. "You okay, Jackson?" he whispers, concern breaking through. Private Lee, still skeptical, lumbers, "She'll crash the whole fleet." Sergeant Blake, leaning against a console, taps his fingers nervously, his sneer faltering, sweat beading on his brow. Zara's mind races. Someone on this base is sabotaging them. The symbol from Carter's paper burns in her pocket, whispering betrayal. She dives into the AI network, fingers flying across her tablet. The malware's buried deep, rerouting signals via a backdoor in the satellite link. She runs a diagnostic, isolating the rogue code with a custom script, rerouting the fleet's control in under 3 minutes. The screens stabilize, the drones hum steadying outside, their engines whining faintly through the fog. Reynolds nods grudgingly. "Not bad, but you're still under review." Harris shoots Zara a look of respect, but her focus is elsewhere. Carter's paper, the symbol, the hack. In the mess hall, the air heavy with the scent of stale coffee, Harris catches up with Zara. "You're making Blake look bad," he says, voice low. "He's not taking it well." He hesitates, fingers brushing his family photo. "You keep going, no matter what." "How?" Zara's eyes soften, grazing the steady ring. "Someone taught me to keep looking forward," she says, her voice quiet but firm. The moment lingers, the mess hall's chatter fading. Alone in the armory, the air thick with oil and metal, lights pulsing dimly, Zara slumps against a workbench. Operation Blackout crashes over her, a memory sears. She's piloting a drone swarm through a smoky valley, teammates pinned by enemy fire. Her calculations were perfect, until a mistimed command sent a strike off target, flames swallowing her team. "I failed them," she whispers, voice cracking, fingers clutching the steady ring. Footsteps echo, the hum of drones outside seeping through. Carter appears, his scarred face softened, holding her father's tactical notebook, its pages worn with drone swarm patterns. "Your dad trusted you to finish this," he says, handing it over. "You're not done." Zara opens it, eyes tracing her father's sketches, intricate formations, AI coordination notes. In the margins, the jagged symbol from the hack stares back. Her breath catches. Is Carter playing her? She grips the ring, resolve hardening. Zara heads to the control room, notebook heavy in her pocket, boots echoing on concrete. Another drone's offline, its signal scrambled. Her tablet reveals a hidden log, access from Blake's terminal. She freezes. Blake, passed over for promotion because her skills outshone his, stands nearby, eyes darting, hands trembling. Zara digs deeper, finding altered code designed to crash the fleet. She connects a USB programmer to the drone's chip, flashing new firmware in seconds, the screen flashing green as the drone hums back to life. Her Kraken tattoo glints as her wrist wrap slips. Blake steps closer, voice venomous. "You're too nosy, Jackson." The click of a gun's safety echoes, metal clanging faintly. Zara spins, staring down Blake's pistol, his eyes wild with desperation. "You should have stayed in logistics." He hisses, hand shaking. Harris bursts in, shouting, "Blake, stop!" His voice cracks, hand reaching for his sidearm. Before he can act, Carter lunges, disarming Blake with a swift move, pinning him to the ground. "I owed your dad," Carter says to Zara, voice calm. "I'd never betray you." Zara's heart pounds, the notebook heavy. Blake's the traitor, not Carter. She grips the steady ring, her father's words, "Be the eyes," ringing clear. The armory feels smaller, the truth sharper than any blade. The Eastern European base is a battlefield, the NATO exercise roaring to its peak under a sky heavy with mist. It's 2025, and the control room pulses with urgency. Alarms wailing, red lights casting an eerie glow, the air thick with the scent of burnt circuits. The drone fleet, a swarm of 10 MQ-9 Reapers coordinated by AI through a satellite link, is under attack. Simulated enemy forces close in, their signals mimicking a real ambush. Zara Jackson stands at the heart of it, her tablet a lifeline, its screen blazing with cascading data. Her dark eyes lock on the chaos, fingers grazing the steady ring under her glove. Her father's words echoing, "Be the eyes." Captain Reynolds' voice crackles over the radio. "Jackson, neutralize the target, or we're done." Private Harris hovers nearby, his faith growing, whispering, "You've got this." Private Lee, still skeptical, grumbles, "She'll choke." Sergeant Blake, the exposed traitor, is under guard, but his shadow lingers, the hum of drones outside a faint roar through the fog. Screens pulse with chaos. 10 drones veering off course, their AI confused by a brute force hack flooding the satellite link with false commands. Zara dives into the system, her tablet running a custom Python script to trace the intrusion. She spots rogue signals, her fingers flying across the touchscreen to isolate them, rerouting control to a backup channel. "Come on," she whispers, voice tight. The lead Reaper's camera feed flashes on, a simulated enemy convoy, tanks rolling through a rocky ravine. Zara grips a joystick, taking manual control, her hands resolute. She deploys the drone swarm, AI algorithms syncing 10 Reapers into a precise formation, their laser-guided payloads locking on in milliseconds. A drone falters, its signal glitching. Another hack. Zara's heart pounds. She shouts, "Not now," her voice raw, a crack in her armor. She rewrites the drone's code on the fly, typing a patch in seconds, the tablet screen flashing green. The swarm strikes, payloads hitting dead center, the convoy erupting in simulated flames. The control room erupts in cheers, Harris leading with a fist pump. "She did it!" Lee avoids her gaze, muttering under his breath, while a technician whispers, "She's unreal." The victory's short-lived. Sergeant Carter steps forward, his scarred face solemn, eyes steady. "You need to know who she is," he says, voice carrying. The room quiets. Zara was a Kraken operative in Operation Blackout, piloted drones under fire, saved dozens but lost her team to a miscalculation. Declined medals, carried the guilt. Harris's eyes widen, asking quietly, "What's Kraken mean?" Zara's jaw tightens, fingers brushing the steady ring. She pulls her father's tactical notebook from her pocket, flipping to a page labeled Kraken's Swarm. Her design, a hint of secrets yet to come. Lee, once mocking her as logistics girl, lowers his head, silent, his bravado crumbling. The team murmurs, a soldier whispering, "She's one of them?" General Maxwell, NATO commander, strides into the control room, his steel-gray eyes locking on Zara, silencing the murmurs. "Commander Jackson?" he says, voice like a gavel. The team freezes. "Commander?" "You saved this base today, just like you did in Blackout," Maxwell continues. "I underestimated you." He pulls a worn Kraken badge from his pocket, its octopus emblem glinting. Zara hesitates, boots resolute on concrete, then steps forward. She removes her wrist wrap, revealing the Kraken tattoo, its ink bold against her skin. The team gasps. Lee's jaw drops, Harris nods proudly. Reynolds, skepticism fading, clears his throat. "I underestimated you, Jackson." He salutes stiffly, the room following, hands rising in unison, a tide of respect washing over her. Zara takes the badge, fingers trembling slightly, clipping it to her uniform. "Thank you, sir," she says, voice low but firm, the steady ring glinting, her father's notebook heavy in her pocket. Outside, the mist lifts, drones humming overhead, their lights piercing the dusk. Harris approaches Zara, voice quiet. "I was wrong about you. We all were." He holds out his family photo, a shy smile breaking through. "You're what I want to be." Zara nods, eyes softening, but her mind drifts to the notebook. Its pages hold more than memories, secrets even Carter might not know. The victory feels incomplete. Blake's betrayal was just the start. Something bigger looms, and Zara's ready, her Kraken tattoo a silent vow, her steady ring a reminder to keep going. The Eastern European base hums under a fading sky, the NATO exercise winding down, but the air crackles with unfinished business. It's 2025, and the control room glows with the pulse of screens, alarms silent now, the scent of burnt circuits lingering. Drones circle overhead, their hum like distant stars piercing the dusk. Zara Jackson stands at a terminal, her tablet still warm from the last battle, its screen casting a faint light. The team, Private Harris, Private Lee and others, watches, their respect hard-earned after her drone swarm victory. Sergeant Blake, the exposed traitor, is under guard, but his betrayal lingers like poison. Captain Reynolds paces, his plan for the final test, a simulated drone strike laid out on a table, its papers scattered. Zara's Kraken tattoo, revealed in triumph, hides again under her wrist wrap, but her steady ring glints as she grips her father's tactical notebook, its worn pages whispering secrets. A siren screeches, screens flashing red, the wail bouncing off concrete walls. Blake's backup malware, buried in the drone fleet's AI network, triggers chaos, scrambling signals in the final test. Drones veer off course, threatening a simulated disaster. Reynolds barks, "Jackson, fix it or we're done." Zara dives into her tablet, launching Wireshark, its interface displaying streams of network packets, red alerts flashing rogue data. The malware's a ghost, rerouting commands through a backdoor in the satellite link. Her fingers fly, applying a custom filter to isolate the rogue code, rewriting the AI's routing protocol in under 2 minutes. The screens stabilize, the drones hum steadying like a heartbeat, their engines whining faintly outside. Zara turns to Reynolds, voice sharp. "Your plan left the back door exposed. I patched it." Harris cuts in, firm. "She's earned our trust, sir." Lee, once mocking, shifts uncomfortably, eyes down, muttering under his breath. Reynolds nods, face tight, acknowledgement breaking through his skepticism. A technician whispers, "She's unstoppable." The control room doors swing open and General Maxwell strides in, his steel-gray eyes locking on Zara, silencing the murmurs. "Commander Jackson," he says, voice like a gavel. The team freezes. "Commander?" Maxwell gestures to a screen and a grainy video plays. Operation Blackout, smoke rising from a rocky valley. Zara's drone swarm, 10 Reapers dancing in perfect AI coordination, saves hundreds of soldiers, their cheers crackling through the footage. "She designed those tactics," Maxwell says, rewrote drone warfare in a single night, declined medals to protect her surviving team. The room gasps. Reynolds' jaw drops, his voice low. "I judged you wrong, Jackson." Harris's eyes shine with pride, fist clenched in solidarity. Lee, shame replacing his sneer, mumbles, "I was an idiot, Jackson." Zara grips her father's notebook, flipping to a page labeled Kraken Swarm by Zara, her creation. Maxwell steps forward. "I misjudged you, Commander. We all did." He salutes, the team following, hands rising in a wave of respect. Zara stands tall, eyes resolute, fingers trembling on the steady ring as she nods back. In the armory, the air heavy with oil and metal, lights pulsing dimly. Zara packs her tools, the notebook heavy in her pocket. Harris approaches, holding the steady ring she left behind. "You dropped this," he says, voice soft, pulling out his family photo, a shy smile breaking through. "You made me believe I can be better." Zara shakes her head, pushing the ring back. "Give it to someone who needs it. Your family'd be proud." Her eyes linger on the photo, her father's face flickering in her mind. His voice, be the eyes. She zips her bag, the Kraken tattoo hidden once more. Outside, the fog rolls thick, swallowing the base's gray buildings, the wind whistling coldly. A young female soldier, barely out of training, approaches, voice shaky. "I heard what you did, Commander. I want to be like you." Zara pauses, boots crunching on gravel. "Don't just stand like me," she says, voice low but weighted. "Stand taller." The soldier nods, eyes wide, clutching the ring Harris hands her. Zara turns, declining a new mission from Maxwell's aid, and steps into the fog, her silhouette fading. The Kraken tattoo, a secret she carries alone. The drones hum faintly above, their lights lost in the mist. Share your story of standing tall. Like, comment, and subscribe to join the journey.